Today's guest is Bubba Lauf. Joining me now is Justin Lauf. I already said it in the open. You're Bubba. How does that even happen?
You know, I was young kid, and it started. I hated it. My dad called me, and it was something that it stuck around. And the more it stuck, the more I just became. And now I am. That's me. You know, my friends. If you go back home, I'm from New Salem. So if you go back home, that's what people call me around there. So a lot of my friends up here will call me that. And then to the rest of everybody, I'm just known as Justin.
I figured that might have been the case even dating back to there. So how do you end up around Minot from New Salem?
Well, when I graduated from New Salem, and then I went to Bismarck State, and I was at Bismarck State for a while, and then I was taking online classes through Dickinson State. And my dad passed away in 2007, and Alice, so his wife, so my stepmom, got remarried, and my two sisters, Kylie and Maddie, were living up here. And I decided that Minot State was the right choice for me, and that's came up here. I moved up here the year of the flood. So me and the rest of the family lived in a basement of a buddy, and it was crazy.
So did you have were you here for a minute and then were displaced, or were you kind of waiting it out to see where you could live after the flood stuff settled down?
Actually, when I moved up here, I moved straight into Sony's basement. At that point, the house was already flooded, so we were all displaced when I moved up here.
Okay, so when you're thinking about what you're doing for a career right now, I'm going to ask you from my position. I went into math with AP Calc, hardly had to take it in college because I could do it, but I freaking hated it. So how did you end up picking teaching math compared to maybe some other subjects? Because we've had a bunch of gym teachers on the show.
Oh yeah. Fayed's definitely an interest of a lot of people. The nice part about math is it's a highly needed area. So when I first got into it, I told my dad, I'm like, hey, I want to be a math teacher. And he's like, yo, you're crazy. And I was like, yeah, and I got into it. And calc, like you said, the calcs you could do, they were, and I don't mind Calc 1. Calc 2 was tough, and then Calc 3 was maybe even above what I wanted to do. And then they make you take some advanced math courses in college, and you're like, oh man, I hope I never have to teach this again. But I enjoy the Algebra 1s, the Algebra 2s, because again, it's something that you can work at and keep getting better. So I found myself admiring one of my teachers back in about 7th and 8th grade, and I was like, I think that's what I want to do. So there's that.
So do you have a bunch of word problems prepared that have to deal with living in a rural area? Like John had 10 head of cattle, then times 3 is what? Or?
No, but hey, maybe that's something I should look into.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit here. So you're between Sawyer and South Prairie in recent years, and you're a basketball coach. You've been on the girls' side for a while here. I wanted to ask you, because the first time I've seen you around was when you were with the Flashes, and you had some good players between ones like Rotluck, Brabant, people like that. Sawyer, I always remember going to their early season tournament, and there wasn't really too much to the school. It felt like you were right there. You really had to make 3 turns to make a lap around that school. With that considered, how does that program field the strong teams when they did have a varsity program?
It's kind of a cool story. I came out and started when I moved up here in 2011. I started coaching out there. I was an assistant basketball coach, and Mara and Paige, so Mara Rotlick and Paige Brabant were 8th graders, and we took our beatings, but and then the other kids kind of caught on to what we were trying to do, and we were able to establish ourselves, and especially with young talent, we went from not winning very many games before I got there to all of a sudden we were competitive, and then Mara and Paige got older, and all the other kids worked hard, and I thought we did a decent job of preparing our program for success. And at their senior year, we had 17 girls, 7 through 12, in the whole school, and 9 of them happened to play basketball.
Wow, that's pretty fortunate. And even when South Prairie ended up not having the Flashes anymore, I was talking even to Chris Broughton out in Velva saying boy, you missed having these Rotlucks and Brabants by a year, and he acknowledged how good you guys had it.
Yeah, and I remember having a conversation with him. It would have been their senior year too. I think we were playing them in the semifinals, and we were talking before the game, and he goes, "This game shouldn't even happen. They should be playing together." And I'm like, "Yeah," And then the competitiveness in us both was always, we respect each other, and I love how competitive he is. And I thought it was a cool comment, just because, hey, there was potential that we could have been playing together, but at the same time, we both had our own squads, and we were both pretty good.
So you go to South Prairie, who is a program that's having to pretty much build from the ground up. It's a brand new school, and just acquiring like the talent and skill too to go with it. What's kind of your game plan been so far with the Royals?
Establishing a culture, I think, is the number one most important thing. And our kids now have been in our program. I think this is my 5th year out there, if I'm not mistaken. I've coached out there for 4. And they've had 5 full seasons. So I was only not part of one season. And, we've gotten new kids. We've gotten kids into our program. We're trying to get them in the gym more often, and I look down and I see some young kids, and those young kids are continuing to improve by playing, whether it's travel ball, whether it's open gym, whether it's going to camps. And culture is the biggest thing, and they see those older kids working hard. And we just gotta keep establishing and keep getting better. I know I've got some leadership on our team that'll be ready to show off for those younger kids.
I've heard folks say that they've been coming out to more South Prairie games, whether or not they have family either coaching or playing in the games. Have you seen the gym fill up more recently?
Yeah, especially since I've started. And I think our school's just getting bigger. We graduated some of those those first year classes that weren't as big. So we're graduating 20, and our incoming class was 40 kids. So naturally, we've just got more people, more influence, and it'll continue to get bigger. If you build it, they will come, they say.
Yeah, so you guys obviously are still on the way up. You've taken a couple early bumps here in the program. But even so, what did it mean to have a player like maybe a Karina Verbitsky, just like seeing somebody that could be talented and putting in the work and, I don't know, maybe setting an example for a lot of kids?
Yeah, it's always great. It's always great to have kids like her. The work ethic, the drive, we want to get better. So she kind of set the tone for some of my kids now who kind of grew up. And again, we're working on building that. I know I've got some kids now that have watched that, and we've learned, what works for us, what doesn't. Kids see that and want to keep getting better. And now I've got some kids, even so my juniors and seniors. I think I've only got maybe 4 of them 5 of them. So 2 seniors and 3 juniors that'll be out. And they've been in the program since I've been there. So it's nice to see those faces, and they're coming up, and we'll see what their leadership can bring to our team come this winter.
Basketball around here has become more of a year-round sport, whether you're just at the Y or traveling. And I see you've had a lot of experience just going a lot of places. So what have you enjoyed the most from being around travel basketball as a coach, or maybe even like way back?
Oh, for me, I didn't get the opportunity to play a whole lot, but one of the greatest experiences I've had is just traveling with my 2 sisters. A couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago, Greg Foster started the Indy Attack AAU program, based out of rugby, but we get kids from all over the place. I've got kids that play on my team from Fargo, Northern Cass, all the way down to Hettinger, Scranton, and then obviously up here we've got local kids. So we kind of stretch across the state of North Dakota, and it's kind of cool program. You get your networking done with your other coaches. But the most memorable experience is just having, because Kylie and Maddie both played at Delax Burlington, and we had a lot of wars between either my Sawyer teams in Burlington and then now South Prairie. So I don't get to see them on my team or on a team that I'm with very often. So I thought that was always awesome, being able to work with them and watching them grow and get better.
Yeah, what was it like? You guys maybe turned the switch on and off between like wishing each other good luck before and then seeing them after the game, and then you're kind of in the heat of it, I guess, in between, huh?
Yeah, it was, and it's always fun because I used to watch some of the things that they were able to do, and I'd be like, God, who taught you that? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, well, good move, my bad.
Well, you kind of could see what was coming, though, with them, huh? I mean, you always knew what kinds of players they were. You were probably most prepared for playing the Lakers, huh?
Yeah, and you know what they have, and then you grow up, and speaking of networking and basketball, like they're my sisters, so obviously they travel too. So even in grade school, I was coaching some of their travel teams, so I've gotten to know a lot of those kids that play out there too, just via coaching. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of fun. You get out there and you get to see kids that play on other teams, and then you go back to your respective team and you just try to be the best you can and play against them, and hopefully at the end of the night we come out on top. But we'll see how that comes this winter.
Okay, so with that in mind, who is the best Lauf?
Who is the best?
Yeah.
You mean like one-on-one?
Yeah, or however you'd like to answer it for the best of your ability or whatever.
Well, hey, I think everybody. I could tell you this: that if we were going to run a foot race, you're not picking me. That's all I'm going to tell you. If it was a foot race, I'm not going to win because Kylie, Maddie, they're running all over the place. And then I've got another sister who loves to run too, and she lives out in California.
So you're in better condition to run the cart. So why don't you tell us about your Wildwood work schedule?
Oh yeah, that's always fun. I've worked out there since college. That was my college job. I've been out there. I just drive the cart and keep everybody hydrated. So that way, when you're on the 8th hole, Ben, I can make sure that you're not going thirsty.
There, exactly. But you have to get up crazy early to do that too, because I think you put in a shift getting the course ready, and then we played over 4th of July. Is that right?
Yeah. Hey, and yeah, I forgot. I drive the beverage cart. I also mow in the morning. So yeah, start in about, I don't know. I was usually out there by 6. Done by about 8, playing golf with you at about 8:39.
Perfect. So, yeah, I mean, I made bank on that beverage cart at the Laker Scramble. That was awesome, dude. How well do you usually do?
It's as far as like what I shoot.
Oh no, I made like $100.
Oh, how well do I usually do?
Yeah.
It depends on the night.
Men's night.
Depends on the night.
Yeah. Okay. So how on earth do you go about picking these pin locations that aren't always great for us terrible golfers?
Well, sometimes I'm like, okay, where would I like the pin? And then I do the exact opposite of what that is.
Give it a challenge or whatever. That was like I think Varden's getting ready to have like their diabolical tournament where they're having like the absolute worst possible green conditions or whatever. And
I did see that the course is gonna be almost impossible, they say. So that'll be fun. That's on Thursday. So we'll see how. Are you playing?
Oh, well, I'm not good enough for something like that. You know that.
We need to get you involved.
Well, yeah, I got the passes here. I still got to use up anyway. I can't believe they wouldn't consult you for something like that.
Yeah, well, hey, I think Bruce out there does a good job of making them challenging enough because sometimes I even struggle.
Oh, I mean, I can't believe you would ever struggle, but okay. Do you play the best at Wildwood just because you work there, or where do you think you play the best?
And now, like, yes, I did because I played a lot at Wildwood. I played a lot of rounds for many years. But now, this past year, I bought the old Varden pass. So I'd say one of your home courses has got it's between Wildwood and between the Varden. Right now, I've got a chance at both to play my best. I'm not saying that's going to beat many people, but I'll try.
All right, well, then I'll get to see you at Source then, so we all have a chance at it if you're going to be really good at those places. And, hey, Justin, I mean, glad you obviously must be doing well if you've gotten the Varden pass nowadays.
Yeah, it was a great thing, and I just love golf, and I spent a lot of money in playing golf at random places all summer anyway. So instead of just driving around and playing all these other places, I just decided to buckle down and become a member one time.
Only to lose to Maddie and Kylie?
Yeah, well, hey, that's why, again, there's the best Lauf again. I think I could beat them in golf. I got that one.
All right, yeah. Always down for the safe bet, Justin. Hey, appreciate the quick trip into here at the podcast. And, hey, we'll see you this winter at South Prairie. How's that sound?
All right, I appreciate you. Thank you.